Hi, this is Neil Scoggins with City of Refuge Community Church and this week's Bible Study Rewind. As you can notice, man, my voice sounds totally different. It's because I'm losing my voice. Because this past Tuesday night, man, we had such an awesome time. We were screaming and hollering and praying and praising that I lost my voice. No, that's not the truth. We can do that, but we didn't do that this past Tuesday night. No, because of the allergies in the air, things are going on. But man, that did not stop us from having a great time this past Tuesday night at Bible study. We're starting a new series at Bible study on Tuesday nights. You ought to join us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. 3400 Roosevelt Road in Little Rock for our Tuesday night Bible study at City of Refuge. We're starting a new series called Stages of Faith. I know faith is one of those things that people talk about. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for. Without faith, we cannot please God. Those that come to God must believe that He is and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. We're talking about faith, and it seems like faith is that imaginary thing out in the sky, and we never really get a handle on it. But one of the things that we talked about on this past Tuesday night was that faith actually comes in stages. We're looking at the story of David and Goliath. How could a shepherd boy take down a 9-foot Philistine giant that had all of the training in the world, had the Philistine army behind him, and David had a rock and a rag, and was promoted to a degree, to a stage that, man, that many people don't even imagine, and some people never even get there. But what happens to allow you to get to the point where you can stand in front of a giant and take that giant down? So last night we started talking about phase one, and really phase one of our faith is really the backstage. And we talked about how David, before he fought Goliath, was really tending sheep. He was tending his father's sheep. He was anointed by God when Samuel came to anoint him in 1 Samuel chapter 16. But after he was anointed, he went back to tending the sheep. And we talked about in stage one of faith is that there are a group of sheep. There's some responsibilities that you have to tend your sheep, to build your faith. And we tried to figure out what those sheep actually were. And we discovered that the sheep could be your family, could be your kids, it could be your coworkers, it could be your neighbors. But also the sheep that you need to tend is your character, is your mindset, is your anointing, is your unique gifting from God. Those are the sheep that you need to tend to while you're on the backstage before you get to the main stage. In other words, you will never make it to Goliath until you are successful tending the sheep that God has given you to tend. Maybe your sheep is prayer and you need to be disciplined in prayer. You take care of that in the backstage when nobody is looking, till one day when you get promoted to the front stage, that God will actually be there with you and others can actually see it. We further talked about how Saul tried to give David Saul's armor. And we didn't talk about deep into that last night, but there is no way that you can walk in somebody else's faith. In other words, faith has to be a personal thing for you. Stage one of that faith is that you have to make sure that you lock yourself in and be secure not only with who you are, what you have, but what you are called to do. Man, we had a great time, had an awesome time of prayer on this past Tuesday night. Man, don't forget, we're going to continue to go forward and talk about how David and Goliath made it to the front stage and how faith changed his life on the front stage. Join us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. at City of Refuge Community Church, 3400 Roosevelt Road. We're actually using someone else's building, but we're thankful for that. A big shout out to New Perspective Christian Church and Pastor Cadrick Jones and his congregation for allowing us to use that building on Tuesday nights. Also, we're up and ready for donations. We're getting ready to start an outreach project in the community. We want to show love in the community, and you'll be hearing a little more about that as time goes on. My name is Neil Scoggins. We are City of Refuge Community Church, and this has been Bible Study Rewind.